Okay, hold on. What's up, everybody? Welcome to another weekend watch. Can you tell I'm sick of the cold because I'm channeling my inner warmth and hoping that this tank top will make it warmer soon. Anyways, back to lacrosse. We have a huge weekend ahead. So I thought, since you guys seemed to like this episode last week, we'd do it again. We're gonna talk about 4 of the top games this weekend. But now that we're getting almost finished February, the games are getting better, the scheming's getting better, the players to watch are getting better, and it's gonna be a lot of fun. Got some boom chicka pop this time. Let's do it. All right. Choking on a kernel. All right. First game of the weekend, February 22nd, Friday. Stony Brook at Colorado at 5 p.m. So this game's gonna be a really interesting one. It's Stony Brook's first game, Colorado's third. Colorado has played against Florida and against Virginia Tech, 2 very, very skilled teams. Came out of those 1-1. Actually did really well against a Virginia Tech team that was pretty highly ranked. Can't remember the exact score, but outscored them by quite a margin. Stony Brook is coming off another season, had a tough loss in the quarterfinals to BC. So I think if I know anything about Coach Spallina, he has those girls hungry and ready to play. So I know they're kind of chomping at the bit for this late start to their season. I'm sure they're gonna come out firing, ready to go. When you're watching Stony Brook versus Colorado, I think there's a couple of players that are really gonna stand out. On Stony Brook's side, interested to see how Taryn Ohlmiller comes back from her ACL tear, number 21. She's Kylie Ohlmiller's younger sister, really big, tall, strong, athletic player who unfortunately had an injury last year that ended her season a little early. But I've watched her rehab through Instagram and through the social media channels that Kylie posted, and I think she's feeling pretty good. So I'm excited to watch her play again. Expect a lot of top dodging, but also expect her to kind of weasel her way in through the middle. She can shoot from top down. She can curl the crease, come back and shoot. So she's really confident coming from the top. So she'll be fun to watch. And then Allie Kennedy, number 30. She's a US teammate of mine. Super fast, like lightning quick, really small, but strong and really fast. She can just kind of power towards cage, use her speed to her advantage. So it'll be interesting to see how she can use that speed to her advantage when Colorado, I'm expecting, is gonna play zone. Player to watch for Colorado is Charlie Rudy. So she was on Novato last year in high school, played against her with McDonough. She plays behind the crease, has great vision, can hit feeds, can also likes to drive up with that right hand curl and fights for that inside. So I'm excited to see how her game's translated from high school to college. And I think she'll be kind of that freshman spark who hopefully has a great game. If I had to choose, I think it's gonna be a Stony Brook victory, 15-10. Aw, all right, we'll keep talking. Next one, Saturday, the 23rd. 2 big matchups. I looked at the Inside Lacrosse calendar. There's a ton of good games. I thought I'd choose 2. Duke at Virginia Tech at 1 p.m. So Duke is coming off a heartbreaking loss against Northwestern. It was a 21-20 shootout, lights out game for both teams. Unfortunately, they just couldn't get it done in the end. If you're gonna watch anything in that, if you're focused on defense, you can notice the difference between the zones. So if you go back and watch the Duke Northwestern film, you'll see Northwestern played a zone, Duke played a zone. Duke played kind of a lower pressure shifting zone, similar to Northwestern. This time for Duke and Virginia Tech plays a high pressure, kind of a backer zone, really, really aggressive, where I think Duke is gonna stay in kind of that more neutral shifting zone to try to clog the middle. So if you're a defender who plays zones, watch that shift, see how they get out on hands if you're a Virginia Tech watcher or viewer, and then see how they clog the middle if you're watching the Duke defense. Also want to watch 2 different players, one from each team. Number 14, Olivia Jenner, former McDonough teammate of mine. She does the draw and has been a huge spark in transition for Duke. She gets the draw moves straight in, and is unafraid to go to goal. So she uses more of her strength and her power and that full steam she gets from running up the midfield to have some success. She can also, you know, she's more of a dodger, I would say. Paige Petty, number 26 for Virginia Tech. I'd say she's a little bit quicker, a little slipperier of the two. Definitely that on-field vocal leader. She kind of will cut through the middle. She also looks to drive towards the middle, tends to not drive towards the outside in the games that I've seen. So those two are gonna be kind of the players to watch. And it should be a really good ACC showdown. Already had one last weekend with BC and Cuse. I'm expecting another one this weekend. If I had to choose, I think Duke is gonna be kind of coming off hungry off that close Northwestern victory. I'm gonna guess 15-12 Duke victory. All right, we're gonna try this again, see if I can get 3. 1, 2, 3. Next game, Saturday, the 23rd, Florida versus Loyola. So those are both two teams, again, coming off of losses. Florida lost to Maryland, Loyola lost in a stunner to Hopkins. So both of those teams are gonna be looking to kind of get back on the right path. Both are a little different from each other. Florida is that fast, athletic, run and gun, up and down transition team. Very, very athletic. Loyola, while still athletic, can still run up and down the field. They're definitely the trickier of the two. Look for the flashier backhanded Twizzlers, the shovel shots. I know Dana and Jen do a lot of stick work with these Loyola girls, and it shows on the field, especially if you watch any of the Loyola highlights. Two players to watch. I think the offense, whatever offense has more prowess in this game is going to win. They're both very offensive-minded teams. If you're gonna watch anyone on Florida, you have to watch Lindsey Ronbeck. She had an amazing game versus Maryland, 8 goals, 1 assist, 2 assists, something like that. Both off dodges and coming off the feed, off picks. So she's someone who can create a lot of offense. Tends to be in her left hand most of the time. But hey, if they don't stop it, why stop? So she is someone who's gonna be kind of that leader for this team on offense. Had an incredible game coming off of a frustrating loss. I think she'll be huge again for Florida, both from X and from up top. Van Thoff, Taylor Van Thoff, number 18 for Loyola. She's the trickier, kind of flashier player between her and Ronbeck. Definitely has a ton of fancy stick work, does the draw for Loyola as well. So you'll see here in the center circle. If you want to be a tricky player and work on your stick work, she is someone to watch. Look out for reverse Twizzlers and backhanded shots and shovel shots and behind the backs. She's gonna be kind of that exciting player to watch in the midfield. Tends to be really slippery, likes to cut through, not as much of a dodger, more of that catch and shoot girl, or she can feed. So those are two players to watch. If I am gonna choose, I'm gonna say Florida's gonna win this one 19-13. I think it's gonna be a shootout with Florida coming out on top. And last but not least, probably one of the biggest games of the year, my favorite game to play as a player and now as a viewer and a fan of just lacrosse in general. It's definitely in my top 5, probably top 1, honestly. UNC at Maryland, Sunday the 24th, 12 p.m. That's gonna be an insane game. It's a 2v3 matchup, it's a rivalry game. These are teams that have seen each other in ACC championships and national championships and Final Fours. They've seen each other constantly, and it's just always a fun matchup. What's gonna be really exciting for viewers to watch and something that you guys should be looking at when you're watching this game is the matchup within the matchup. So UNC offense versus Maryland defense, Katie Hogue and Jamie Ortega, two incredible attackers who racked up insane amounts of points in like 3 games this year. Katie Hogue tends to play behind the crease as that facilitator, likes to feed, is on the back end of a lot of cross crease passes, but can also dodge. Jamie Ortega is a lefty wonder, can dodge, can feed, can shoot from far out, can shoot up close. She's just she's a really fun player to watch. Those two, I have a feeling, are gonna be matched up by a couple different Terps, but I would expect that Julia Bragg and Shelby Mercer are 2 of the defenders who end up on them at some point. It's gonna be interesting to see how they can kind of, temper them Excuse me. I'm assuming, you know, it's just gonna be an interesting matchup. Getting Jamie Ortega to go to her right, getting Katie Hogue to go to her left. Trying to make them uncomfortable is gonna be a goal for Maryland, I'm sure, and to not let those two beat them. If you can stop them, you know, it's the hope that everybody else can take care of the rest of the players who are also extremely talented. And then on the flip side, you have number 5 Jen Giles versus number 11 Caroline Steele versus Emma Trenchard and Erin Kelly. Two fantastic UNC defenders. Emma Trenchard is a USA player, really great person, can cover a lot of space, can play a zone, can play a man, can get pressure on your hands, can also sag back and look for cutters on the inside. She's a great attacker. Erin Kelly is a veteran Emma Trenchard's a great defender. Erin Kelly is a veteran defender who kind of leads that defense. So I think the two of them at some point will be on Jen Giles and Caroline Steele. Jenny is a midfielder who likes to dodge from the top, is always looking for that feed inside. Caroline Steele is that shifty lefty attacker from behind, who can come up, kind of do the Kayla Trainer, Nicole Levy rips from the 8 meter. So it's gonna be really interesting to see how that foursome and that foursome, the UNC offense versus Maryland defense and UNC defense versus Maryland offense works out. I think those matchups within the matchup, whoever is more successful will win this game. If I had to bet and be allegiant to my Terps, I think it's gonna be a 13-12 Maryland victory. It's gonna be a thriller, it always is. It's never a blowout, and it should be a lot of fun to watch. And last but not least, the winner from last weekend's weekend watch, Madeline McNear. You guessed all 4 correctly. You had the Terps, Northwestern BC, and Northwestern winning. So congratulations. DM me at my Instagram, Taylor Cummings Lacrosse, with your address, and I'll send you your Taylor Cummings Lacrosse goodie. All right, guys, tune in next time for another weekend watch. If you guys like this segment, please comment below. If there's things you want to change or add, let me know, because this is all for you. All right, guys, enjoy a lacrosse-filled weekend.